What if I like?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed live.
We are live.
Hello.
Lucas
I
Brockenbrough,
see.
Reed Wilson, thank you
Just
for
a
coming on
little
the
bit closer.
podcast today. I'm speaking a little bit more softly because we have a choir concert to go to, and I don't want to throw out our voices by yelling
That's
or
a good
anything
point.
like that. So, after we did A Push and AP Lang, Josh and I immediately began having conversations about what the best way to cheat on an AP test is.
Oh, I
Yes.
remember this.
So the way that we came up with hinges on the fact that the
Time
AP
zones.
tests are segmented by time zones.
Mm-hmm.
So people in Eastern time actually finish before the break of us in Western time comes. So that means that if you're able to communicate with a friend on the East Coast during your break time in the middle of the test, you can get some knowledge about what like the second section or like the FRQs are going to be about. So our plan was not necessarily plan, College Board, if you're watching, but our hypothetical idea,
Hypothetical.
yes, completely theoretical,
I love College Board.
Yes.
was to take a soda can and really carefully cut it open so that it can be reconstructed, but then put a cell phone that's just on in there. So you're on a call with someone on the East Coast, and then once they're done, they can call that number, and you time it so that when during your break, you look like you're sipping soda or a drink or something, when really you're hearing, and it was about the Bolshevik Revolution and blah 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 blah.
Bolsheviks.
Yes, comrade.
Yes, comrade.
So that was so. Basically, I feel like in order to cheat on the AP tests, you need to have advanced knowledge of the material, like what specifically is on the test, right?
Are the questions all still the same? I assume they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
yeah. Each year they're the same.
So you could probably, if they were really no, because they'd be kind of sketchy. It'd be sketchy if you like were drinking it during the test.
Okay, but how are you going to be able to hear it? Like if you have the,
That's true.
the soda down
you can
here,
have it on speaker.
You're
But what if someone like
there's
walks by? Like that's
slight
pretty
flaw with
sketchy.
that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could just be like, "Is there something in my soda can?" Like a little bit confused by it. You draw attention to
Okay.
the fact that it's a little bit weird.
Right. But I mean, how are you going to do that if like you would be doing that for like 5 seconds? What if you need to listen to like what's happening for like a full minute where he's going to like explain everything?
What if you forget like something about the Caribbean slave trade, which was our first question, which
Yes.
we're not supposed to talk about. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, we're allowed to talk about it now
Yeah.
that all the
Ah.
scores are out. We're fine. We can
The
talk
questions
about
have been
the
released,
windmills
right?
and all
No,
that.
the windmills.
Wait, isn't the rule like the questions have to be released and then you can talk about it? And if it's not,
Yeah.
you're just
And if they
never
are
allowed,
never
you're just
released,
never
you're
allowed
just-
to talk about it.
Yeah,
I think so.
that was immediately in the A push test. That was immediately during break. Josh was like, "Yeah, the first question it was about the Caribbean." We were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!"
No, me too. Because I remember. I think I was talking to Josiah. I just went up to him and I was like, "Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. You know, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of really weird questions in the beginning though."
Mhm.
And he looks at me and he's like, "What cardinal sin are you doing?"
But the real way to do it is to have someone infiltrate the College Board for you.
And have them just change your score.
No, not either change your score or either be the AP grader and somehow get assigned you, which I would think that's at random, so that's like impossible. But you just need insider knowledge about what's on the
Okay, well,
test.
honestly, how hard is it to just obtain a copy of the test beforehand?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Just
Probably
break
not
into
that
your
hard.
school and steal a copy of it like
That's
12
true,
hours
'cause they
before
just leave 'em in the
and just
room.
answer all the questions.
That's true.
I mean, I don't think it would be that hard.
Yeah. You could probably have like a little piece of paper with all the answers, and they wouldn't catch you for it because they like have very little supervision during
Yeah.
the test.
So, I mean, all you need to do is just steal things and become a thief, and then you can cheat.
There's nothing wrong with being a thief.
Or you can be a
Kidding.
good student and you can actually study for
Lucas,
your AP
go
tests.
jump off a cliff. Okay, glad that we've had that.
Yeah, well, okay, Josh and I have discussed cheating on tests a lot. And we both think that if you study, if it's not curved, if you're not making other people score worse by having a better score, A, and B, if you know the material and you're only cheating as a proof of concept, then what are you actually doing wrong?
It's true. And you could spend the time, realistically, you might do worse by cheating than if you actually had studied it.
Yeah.
So in theory, you could just be you would always know that you could just be putting the work in and memorizing it. But that's a more
the
interesting way.
The whole idea is that cheating is more work than actually studying for it. Studying
Yeah.
for most AP tests, especially if you're in the class, is really not that hard
really
compared to
isn't.
setting up a spy network or engineering an albuterol inhaler
Oh, God, I remember that.
have recorded answers for your A-push terms.
Skip, pause, play, next chapter.
President Taft immediately was after Roosevelt.
Oh my.
So, Lucas,
As I yawn as a transition.
Lucas, you're a little bit
yes.
bundled up there. You
Yeah.
doing okay?
I'm doing very good. I'm feeling very comfy right now.
Okay, that's
This
good.
man looks
might
like
just
he's
take a
lying
nap on
down,
the
but he's
podcast.
actually
Yeah, that
against
wouldn't
a
be
wall.
particularly good content.
I don't know. I know if I was me, or if I was
You would
someone
wanna
else,
watch
I would
yourself
very much
sleep?
enjoy watching myself sleep.
That's
That's
a little weird.
hour.
Yes, that's a little bit odd.
That's slightly concerning.
Mm-hmm.
So, has this week been a tough week
This has
for
been
you?
a
Or you
very
just
tiring week.
That's true. You have been.
I've stayed up until 2 just about every night this week.
good for you. Good
It's
for
not-
you.
Congratulations.
Applause
Please.
for Lucas Brockenbrough.
Thank you.
Stayed up till 2 almost every night.
Almost, not quite there, but
We've
pretty
still
close.
we've still got to do We Three Kings though. Like that's you
do.
can't be tired for that.
I can act not tired when I need to.
Okay, but not on the podcast. This isn't
Not on the
important enough.
podcast.
Yeah,
no.
no, has to be We Three Kings.
So anyway, Reed, how's your week been?
My week has been all right. It's been a little bit tiring trying to get like all that work done before the end of the semester.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been all right.
Okay.
Frank, how has your week been?
That's a good point. Frank,
That's a good question.
since
Lucas.
you're asking us.
Since this week has been very stressful. It's been like independent reading is due and working on the song with Josh and Lucas. It's been relatively overwhelming.
Independent reading. Yes,
independent
I
reading.
remember that.
Independent reading.
So what are our strategies for next year for independent reading? Next quarter.
Yes,
Quarter?
There won't be a next year.
there won't.
Okay.
I mean, technically.
Well, next quarter, I have Nathan Davis and Joel and Mackenzie.
That's
and-
beautiful.
Basically, my plan is that Joel and Mackenzie do almost all the work. Nathan and I just kind of do our thing, and then by the day of the presentation, we look like we know what we're talking about, and we'll get a 95.
Fair.
Okay.
Frank, do you know who's in
Does
your
Mr.
group for the
Gentleman
next
watch
one?
this?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Mr. Gentless, if you watch this,
Mr. Gentless.
I said Gentless.
You said gentless.
I-
Mr. Gentless, if you watch this.
Mr. Gentlin, if you're watching this, that was a joke.
Why
for
do
comedic
people say
effect.
gentlin? Just say gentlein. It's
Is it-
3 syllables.
It is?
Yeah, gentlein.
I thought it was like
It's not
Gentlin.
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 Yeah.
Gentlin.
I can't.
That's
I
not
don't even
it.
know if I can even say gentlin.
Gentlin. You just said it. You can say gentlein.
Yeah, gentlin.
Yeah, you can say both, like a normal person.
Yeah.
Lucas, say mansplaining.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Okay. Mansplaining.
Almost. There's a little bit of man in there. Just a little bit.
Okay. I have improved since freshman year.
Yes.
Mansplaining.
Oh, that was
Mansplaining.
beautifully in unison.
Beautifully mansplained.
So cute.
Yes.
Frank,
Yeah.
are there any words which you just habitually struggle to say?
Struggled. Shoot. I know there are some.
I'm only thinking of this after having to
Oh,
have independent.
courteous. Courteous? What's that? Courteous.
Courteous.
Courteous. I always say courteous or like courteous. I always mess it up. I can't say it.
Oh no. I remember. I think when I was younger, I would always say. I would look at the word weird and island. Where like island, I always looked at it. 4th grade me, I remember going up to Nico Isvaron and him and I looking each other dead in the eyes and me going, "Hey Nico, for lunch, do you want to go to Islands?" And he looks at me. Just, "Oh yeah, sure. Wait, Islands? What?" And I have that distinct memory of just Islands. And then weird, I would always pronounce wired.
Wired. They're similar words. Lucas used to say pasta, and that's hilarious.
I did. I fixed that halfway through 8th grade.
Oh,
That's awkward.
That's late. Yeah.
I should say pasta from now on.
just
Rest of the
to
year.
like really get under people's skin.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna go to the Italian restaurant and get some pasta. Maybe
There were some other
words.
words I used to mispronounce.
Yeah.
I used to say sorry as sorry.
Sorry,
Like
like,
I was
a
sorry.
Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else would I do?
Sorry, mate.
I'm struggling to remember.
very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Pasta.
All right, Reed. How are we gonna get Lucas riled up?
I don't know. He seems very sleepy right now. What if we like?
Where do you stop?
All right. Well, that worked. That's one.
Now he's
I guess obligatory. If you're listening to this audio only, Lucas was on a tall stool and
he was just
Reed pushed him off.
Yeah, he's. Oh, no.
Okay, this might just be the Frank and Reed podcast.
Lucas is now asleep in the corner under a blanket. His head is no longer on a pillow; it's on a garbage can.
Okay, well, we got rid of Lucas. That's
okay.
Hey,
you think about it. The average energy level of the show just increased. By
yeah,
like
actually,
25%.
Lucas was bringing down the mean energy.
I know.
You were.
Can I get back on?
If you want
If
to,
you can
if you would rather do that than nap, then yes.
Okay. How can we energize me?
Meth.
Yeah, Reed, what's your opinion on meth?
I don't know. This is kind of a thing that I've seen in a lot of different instances. Is that meth is really not as bad as it seems to be.
This is a great message for the kids.
Well, no, I've never tried it. Like my dad has tried it.
Okay.
He's tried like everything, and after having talked to him about it, it turns out that, for example, meth and things like Adderall and whatnot are like ridiculously similar.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I was just reading an article from a psychologist.
Lucas, if you want to really energize yourself, ditch the blanket and the pillow.
That's probably a good idea.
But it was so comfy.
You're
But
gonna
that's
be
the point.
fine.
Just the pillow.
Okay. It was a psychologist or psychiatrist, one of those, from probably psychologist. I can't speak English. From Columbia University. And to quote them directly, I believe, the only significant difference between meth and Adderall is public perception.
Okay. Well, that depends on your definition of significant, but yeah, they are, basically the same thing, except one of them is more available to the public than the other in some ways, legally speaking.
I was going to say, meth is pretty available to the public. I have been offered it on my bus multiple times. But no, also with drug schedules, it's really weird because you can tell they were made in like the 60s because you look at them and you're like, Schedule 1 drugs, which are like the most addictive and potentially damaging. You have peyote, marijuana. Is Psychobin on there?
I don't know. This is,
Why do you know this, Reed?
Yeah,
Because I've looked through this. It's funny. And then opiates. Most opiates are not even Schedule 1s. Like fentanyl is Schedule 2 or 3.
So what classifies something as Schedule 1 or Schedule 2?
Schedule 1 is supposed to be like the most addictive, just the like the most potentially damaging, and then it just goes in order of that. Like Schedule 2 is also addictive and damaging in most instances, but it's not as bad as Schedule 1, and it can have some medical benefits. Which is weird because now some of the things on 1 are listed as potentially having medical benefits, and in some states that's fine. Like mushrooms, I think, are legal in Colorado, and then weed is legal in a lot of places. What?
Reed knows a lot about
Yeah,
this.
Reed, why do you know this?
Because I talked about it with my family, and it was interesting, and not just my family, but it's fine. It's interesting. I don't know. And then things like fentanyl are on a higher or lower in this instant. They're ranked as not as bad, even though
is not as bad.
fentanyl is like terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 100 times worse than morphine.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Frank?
I've never tried fentanyl or morphine, so I'm gonna trust you that fentanyl is about 100 times worse.
With all my fentanyl experience, no, I just know this from internet.
We could make the podcast really interesting right now if we all just
Try
took
fentanyl?
meth on air.
It would Lucas has a little bit of a point.
Yeah. Okay, guys, who wants meth?
Well, good thing
Okay,
I don't have any.
I'll get it out of my backpack.
Oh, thank you.
What are you?
What is he doing?
What's he?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was
That was
a genius
funny.
comedy.
Yeah,
I
starting
didn't
to
mean
lean
it.
as
Okay,
if you were
fine.
going to.
Yeah,
that
see,
that
it's
really,
like as
I'll just go under the table. There's probably some like dead cat down here.
Okay, I'm taking Reed's spot.
Lucas, you don't want to be tall anymore?
Lucas,
I like the chair.
Okay.
Okay.
This has been off to a great start.
Great start.
So, Lucas, what is your opinion on Reed?
My opinion on Reed, I think that let's compare him to Tom.
Okay.
All right. So, I think that Tom is a more attractive male than Reed. In terms of intelligence, Reed reportedly got 200 points better, and therefore he is objectively
200 points better on an IQ test. That doesn't really happen.
no SAT.
SAT.
Yes.
Okay.
So therefore, Reed is objectively more intelligent than Tom.
Okay.
What? Give me some other categories to rank them.
Okay, let's see here. We've got intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
How about maturity?
Maturity.
I think it's Tom.
I think it's Tom too. Honestly, like I rank their I think about their life decisions, and I just
Reed, get up here.
Okay.
Don't just hide.
I'll be on the tall person chair.
you're on top.
Okay, now Reed is tall.
There we go.
I'm not asleep anymore though, which is really sad. Oh, see, Lucas, I'm just a little bit taller than you.
Yeah.
So my head's
Raise your
not
mic.
Hey, you've got to adjust your
No,
microphone.
Can the camera see me anymore? I feel like it's. Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt too. It's okay.
I'm gonna
move
position
my mic
myself so
right
that I
like
can be
that.
better
Oh,
seen.
So I can.
Okay. I think I'm good
Okay.
here.
How about charisma? Who's more charismatic, Reed or Tom?
Reed. I think that more people just naturally like Reed more.
Okay. Reed, who do you think is more? Who do you think is more charismatic, you or Tom?
That is up for debate. It depends if Tom is wasted or if he's sober, which
Okay.
is 50-50 nowadays. But no, when Tom is
You've got to speak into your microphone.
yes, I'm speaking into my microphone now.
You
Frank.
can look at me with your eyes, but not
I
your
will
head.
intimately
Oh,
talk into
yes.
my mic. Oh yes, Frank. That's interesting. When Tom is on drugs, he is often more outspoken.
Okay.
When he's not, when he's just kind of hanging out in the house, he's very quiet, and he tends to he spends a ridiculous amount of time on the couch just watching TV,
Interesting.
more than you'd expect. He does that constantly when he's not out.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess he's quieter in person when he's sober.
Frank, who do you like more?
Who do I
Reed
like
or
more?
Tom?
Reed or Tom? Man, that's a tough decision.
Not who do you think is a better objectively who's a better person, but who do you feel
I've just
more
had so much.
compassion
I've just
towards?
had so much less FaceTime with Tom than Reed.
That's true.
Okay.
So yeah, what's it like growing up with a twin? Lucas and I are both. Lucas and I, we don't even have a brother, much less a twin brother.
That's
Yeah.
true. I know you both have sisters. But,
Yeah.
it's an experience to say the least. You know,
Okay.
originally there were 8 of us because we're test tube babies, and then he ate 5 or 6 of them. So I might have had one, but he ate the majority of our siblings.
Explains a lot.
Wait,
yeah.
how does that work? How does a test?
So are
What
you
does
talking
that
about
mean?
sperm cells eating other sperm cells or feti or
Is that
I'm talking
possible?
about fully
if you want to talk to us, you've got to
okay.
hold the hold the mic that way, pick up the entire thing and rotate it.
Yes, that's
you go.
brilliant.
There we
you
go.
Okay, so
You should sing us a song.
yes, Lucas, I'll sing you a song. But after I
it's
talk
drifting,
about,
it's drifting away from
Yeah.
you.
I see the drift.
Just at some point, you just kind of have to hold it. I mean,
I'll just hold it. Can I?
yeah.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Okay, I can.
Good job.
Hold the microphone. This is
Just make sure that it's
magic.
pointed towards your mouth like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I
how
forgot-
do I've always heard the term test tube baby, and you've told me that Tom ate a bunch of your would-be
Yeah.
siblings a bunch of times, but
What
how
does that mean?
How do you make? Is there ever an actual test tube?
I believe it was more of a petri dish kind of thing, but yes,
Okay,
we were all together.
Wait, is it Petri or Petri?
I say Petri.
I say petri.
Is it not Petri?
I'm pretty sure. I've never heard anyone say
Yeah.
Petri. I've never heard anyone say Petri.
I have once heard somebody say petri, and they were British.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. So yeah, Petri dish babies.
Yes, petri dish babies. There were actually pictures of Tom and I and our siblings in
Aw.
that state, well before we were born.
So, but what did you were little embryos or?
Actually, story time.
Okay.
So IVF clinic. My dad goes in there. He has to give his sperm naturally so that they can have that all work out properly. he goes in there expecting to just have like a white room and for him to try and do his thing. No, he walks in there and there are like magazines on top of magazines of barnyard porn. Like,
Wow.
there's people sitting on horses, like, just... I'm pretty sure there was even, like, this was ahead of its time, because this was... Not exactly. But there was gay barnyard porn, straight
All right.
barnyard porn,
They're
appealing
being very
to
accommodating.
all barnyard
Lesbian
audiences.
barnyard porn.
Probably. No, I believe so. I would have to check with him. Anyways, so he enjoyed his barnyard porn, and now Tom and I exist out of barnyard porn.
Good.
That's cute.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Do you think you would have turned out different if it had been a different type of porn?
Like if it were interracial, I'd be black now.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Man, sometimes you wish you could
This is
just time
deep.
travel to swap out the barnyard porn.
Yes.
Like I wonder if you guys are, if like you and Tom are both going to be farmers now. Like, you know.
I'm pretty sure he said he wants to like work on cars now or something, but we'll see.
Okay, well, I
Who
mean,
knows? Maybe he'll do that and then become a farmer.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Maybe I'll go to college and also be a
also
farmer.
become a farmer.
Yeah.
And then like what he
Agricultural
really
school.
should have done is like watched either medical doctor or a lawyer porn, and then you guys could have
That's
wound up
true.
in higher positioned jobs.
Some like fake hospital.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see.
So okay, so the sample is obtained. I'm just curious as to how a test tube baby works, and I know that you don't really remember the experience of being a test tube
I
baby.
have full recollection, Frank.
What was it like to?
Yeah,
how
what was it
how
like
did your
swimming
siblings
around?
taste?
You know, Frank, I was into battle royale games before they were cool. Before I was even
so
born.
wait, no, so I want to take it from the top, take it like, completely from the beginning and go down, but I think this is a more pressing question. So Tom ate a bunch of siblings, you maybe had one sibling. What stopped Tom from eating you? Does he just like love you like that?
That would be very sweet to think about, but I think it was because I was a little bit too big to be consumed. Like, have you ever played the game Agario or Agar.io, Frank?
Oh yeah, or like the Slitherio.
Agar.io is a better version because
Everyone loved it back in like
Yeah.
8th grade and 9th grade.
Yep, everybody's like cells. There's a point where you're another cell and you have to be like 10% bigger than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably like 9% smaller, so I was just in the range where he couldn't eat me.
Okay.
So I was like, I wasn't massive, but I was big enough to not be eaten by him.
So
Okay.
test tube. So how possible is it that Agario was developed by people who like learned about how test tube babies worked?
And we're like, hey, you know what? Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
No,
So okay. I'm genuinely curious though. Like, so they have a sperm sample and they have like a limited number of sperm cells. To like, what do they do with the sperm cells?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I'm honestly not entirely sure. I know that why it needed to happen was because my dad's sperm count was very low from smoking pot for, all of his life constantly, like every day for multiple years. And that kind of messed that up. So that's why that had to happen in the first place. I know they get the eggs and they get the sperm and they like kind of artificially have them
Okay.
do their thing. And then they eventually put them back in the mother. But I'm not sure the specifications of like what happens, the intricacies, if you will.
I see.
Interesting.
And thus, Reed and Tom were born.
From barnyard porn.
From barnyard porn. Oh my, yeah, Frank, is your I don't want to do. Is that technically like my parents' conception?
Yeah, I
story?
guess so.
You were conceived.
My
to
dad
barnyard
alone in a
porn.
room to barnyard porn.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a pretty unique story. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. I was born in November, so it's Valentine's Day. Nope, barnyard porn.
I know. I was born about a month early, so realistically, I probably was somewhere around Valentine's Day. But I was like Valentine's Day barnyard porn, so it balances it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, they probably had like a special issue with more color pages than usual.
The horses had red saddles.
Yes.
Just for that edition.
Aw.
That's cute.
Oh my, Lucas.
We should look up barnyard porn right now and review it out of 10, Fantano style.
Get Fantano to. Yes, I would. I rate that a strong 8 inches out of 10.
No, you know what we should do?
What?
We should review Students at Monte Vista, Fantano style. Like objectively,
Yes,
like
I give Lucas
quantify
an
their
objective,
value as a person.
Do you realize, like, I'm already on edge with this podcast for shit like this? Like, what's your plan? Are you trying to get me expelled?
I was just joking.
All right,
I
Reed,
give
let's
Lucas
rate
a light
Lucas.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, hey, light to decent 3.
Okay. You might, that's a little bit of a controversial opinion. I
Yeah.
think it really should be around a light 3. But if you want to give him,
Give him
he's
the benefit
here.
of the
He's
doubt.
here,
Yeah.
so we have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we've
and
got to
give him
be be nice to him.
light to decent.
while
That
he's
sounds
here.
all right. Lucas, what are your thoughts on that?
I got a 1560 on my SAT. I have human value.
Yes.
can't clap.
Appreciate me.
There you go. There's your one
works.
singular
My
clap
one
for
singular
getting a
clap.
1560.
What
on
does
the
that add
SAT.
to my rating?
That's
Uh,
why I gave you the light to decent.
Yeah,
You would have been just a light 3 if you had gotten
that's
like a
where the decent
1300
came
or
in.
below.
Okay.
So you and Tom are created in a laboratory
We are.
and then transferred back into your mom,
Yes.
and eventually you're born, and the progression kind of goes from barnyard porn to like giant zoo full of animals
Pretty much.
at your
Yeah.
actual house.
There's
There's a little bit of a common theme here.
Yes, Frank. There are a lot of animals in the house. I was gonna make it slightly
You also
less
have a
appropriate
job.
for this podcast joke.
You also have a job where you work with animals
I
too, right?
What's
I
that
do.
like?
It honestly, it's all right. It's a lot of work, but I get paid pretty decently. We get really weird stuff sometimes. Like when people ask me what's the weirdest thing that has happened to me in the last 2 weeks in work, I'll be like trying to think about it, and I'm like, oh, I remember this was a couple months ago now. I'm gonna set this down. But I distinctly remember going into work one day and having one of the doctors come up to me and be like, "Oh, hey Reed, could you do me a favor? Can you look through this? This bucket right here and just try and find some syringes? Because the Condor people, Ventana Wildlife Society, they left us this bucket of their biohazard waste, and we're trying to have us go through it and get rid of it." So, moral of the story is I ended up spending probably 20 minutes wading my hands through a bucket of hypodermic needles and condor blood.
Condor blood.
Condor blood. And
Condors are pretty cool.
I feel like I might have violated some OSHA thing there, but who knows? They probably don't specify, buckets of needles and condor blood.
So you just are a exotic vet lackey. You just do.
I mean, I do a lot of the tech stuff, so diagnostics, like I'll run some blood tests and whatnot, and gram stains, but a lot of it is like cleaning things and feeding things and weighing things. Condor blood.
You probably, if you drink condor blood, you'll probably become reinvigorated and at one with your homeland or something.
Yep. Gain some state of
some insight. You'll have dreams where you're just flying over the mountains and the pinnacles.
eating rotting things. Yeah. I remember the day before that, I had to restrain a golden eagle for surgery.
Oh,
and
no.
that was
Poor guy.
That was interesting. He was. I believe he got hit by a car.
Oof.
He did all right though.
Oh, that's good.
But
that's good.
He wasn't very happy. He was very, very drugged out at the time. So it
Okay,
wasn't that
but
bad.
he was still kind of looking at you like,
Frank,
hey man.
Yeah, he was not super happy about it. But Frank, I have only one question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever smelled a beaver?
Never. I'm not even sure if I've ever seen a beaver.
Really?
Beavers are not that common around here, are they? I'd never seen one.
Not really. I don't know where the one we got was. This was a number of years ago. I was quite young. I wasn't working at my mom's place. I think I was just sick for the day and had to come there from school. And so I'm just sitting at my mom's work, hanging out in the back room. I smell this horrible thing come in. So I run into the back, through a bunch of halls of my mom's hospital. And I see a beaver walking around in the hallway with, my mom walking it. And it was sick still, but they smell how ferrets smell really bad, Frank? Have you ever been to Ty's house? He has ferrets.
I mean, I can
Or
barely
how?
smell anything, so I don't mind any smells. But yeah, I'm sure ferrets smell bad.
Ferrets smell bad. Beavers are like that, but much, much worse. So Frank, if I have only one piece of advice from where I've worked, don't ever smell a beaver. It's not worth it.
Don't smell beavers.
It's-
Okay, this is becoming the Frank and Reed podcast.
I
feel
wonder
very-
why.
I feel
It's
very
probably 'cause you're
uninvolved.
not awake.
You should involve me more in the conversation.
So Lucas, what's your favorite AJR song?
Can we not talk about AJR?
There you go. So Reed,
See, he's already dismissed himself from the
so
conversation.
yeah, what's your least favorite animal? Is it a beaver?
That's a hard one. I'm trying to think because there's so many just not great I'll have to probably mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes are pretty annoying.
Objectively suck.
What about yellow jackets though?
They're not as bad. Like I've been stung by plenty of bees and yellow jackets, and it's not like
Yeah, but they're just like they're so evil.
they're never gonna kill you.
Just
though.
maraud the lands looking for your food, and then they find your specific table with your
true.
specific cafe food, and they're like, I'm going to target this young man.
Sometimes I go out and I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't want these friggin' yellow jackets to bug me anymore. I'm not gonna get meat. I'm gonna starve myself and get a salad. Little did I know, mandarin oranges attract those things. Like, I don't even know.
Like what?
What's the rock that is? There's a religion centered. Is it the Muslim religion? There's a rock somewhere.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember
I
what it's
don't
called. My brother has a calculator app that like points to that, and then he was
That
sitting
points to Mecca.
points to Mecca.
Remember when we prayed to Allah and we pointed towards Mecca in Miss Scally's class?
I remember this.
I
I
do.
also recounted a prayer to Satan in Latin with like 3 other people in Miss Scally's class, and she thought that I was doing some advanced like Latin Bible reading, and she was very happy about it.
That's good.
Hey, that's actually where I met Reed. It was it was like the second or third day of freshman year Bible with Miss Scally.
Yeah, that's how I met. I had already met Tom. I met Tom first.
Really?
Yeah, because he was in my English class, which was first period.
Oh no.
I don't. Reed and I, we were doing a Bible scavenger hunt, and Reed knew nothing about the Bible, so I was basically doing the entire thing
Aw,
myself.
How
'cause
sweet of you.
And ever since then, I've been friends with Reed.
I remember Reed. You, I first ever talked to you when you voted for my motto presentation. The one where I just went completely off script and just like ranted about stuff in the very
my.
beginning of the year.
Mine was better. Do what is right. Stay in the light.
I'm pretty sure it's stay in the light, do what. And you might have messed that up.
No, I think it was. I think
what is
I-
right,
do
stay
what
in
is
the
right.
light.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss Scally loved that motto.
Isn't that the one that got picked?
What?
Is that the one that got picked?
They got picked.
Oh god.
And then I absolutely like butchered my.
Butchered? Did you just say butchered?
Was it?
Butchered.
Butchered. I absolutely butchered it.
Butchered. Not even British people say butchered. What? Like what
It's
happened?
like butter, but like
No.
No,
With the
it's
sound.
like a butch.
Yeah.
no one says butter.
Some people say butter, but everyone says
They're
butcher.
Yeah, butcher, butter.
Okay.
Like, okay, Reed. Here's a question. This is my speculation going on. How does one not know how to pronounce so many words when they live in America, and they like everyone around them speaks English? Like, how does that happen?
I don't know. It's pretty impressive. Does
Yeah.
nobody like? He should find somebody who should just have.
My mom's from the Philippines. I was
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
Victim
Yep,
card.
yep.
I was
Victim card.
homeschooled. I
Lucas-
had a lot of words pronounced wrong to me.
Yes, tell colleges that you're from the Philippines, and you hardly speak English, but you've tried your best over the years to learn it. And
I don't think
Then
that's
they'll
gonna help me
finally-
get in.
Then they'll finally be impressed with your writing skills. If you say that you're a Native American, not a Native American, but an American,
Tagalog.
an American native, and English is your first language, they're gonna read your S's and be like, "Oh my god!" But if you say, "Hey, English is my second language. I only started learning it when I came to Monte Vista my sophomore year," you just make up some story about being from the Philippines.
Yes,
They'll
I
be
studied
impressed.
day in and day
They
out.
would.
Oh my. I swear we were saying something. But...
Beavers, animals, mosquitoes.
Miss Scally's class.
Miss
We should
Scally's
talk about Miss
class.
Scally's
We
class.
should talk about Miss Scally's
That was an
class.
interesting
Mhm.
class.
Remember when the three of us were in a project together? We had to give gifts of appreciation to Mr. Kebis.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Kebis,
Mr. Kebis.
to
He
whom
sti-
we gave a
He still
picture
works
of
at
a
Monte
cookie.
Vista too. Like I see him around all the time.
Yo, Mr. Kebis, if you're watching this, shout out to you.
Actually,
You're
we love
cool.
you.
You're a cool dude.
No, so what happened there was we decided because it was the ICU project
Yeah.
to show that we see people who are staff at Monte Vista who aren't in admin, who aren't faculty,
Yeah.
And we appreciate them.
and we appreciate them.
Most
So
people chose like the cafe staff and maybe some janitorial people.
Nope, IT
custodians.
We
guy.
chose the IT
But nope,
guy.
the
IT
IT guys, and now he's like an admin. He's moved
He
up
is?
the
He
ranks.
is.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But back then he was just the IT guy.
Right.
And so our plan was like we were gonna get a cookie from the cafe. We were gonna give that to him. I wrote him a little sweet little letter, and we made.
I made the greatest comic of all time.
I made that was my.
Oh,
I
okay.
wrote the entire
He
thing.
came up with the plot line. I came up
with a detailed plot line.
Okay, I came up with the drawings. That's what made
Came
it
up
funny.
with the drawings.
I
It was
did.
cropped pictures of people's faces with like stick figure bodies.
It was artistic. I put so much effort into
Wasn't
that.
there-
No, you didn't.
Yes,
you
I
started
did.
it on the bus. You
So-
started on the. It was due on Monday. You started it on the bus on Monday.
Concentrated effort is just as valuable.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we were like FaceTiming about it or texting about it the night before, and I was like, "Hey, you sure you don't want me to help you with the artwork or anything?" And you
Oh
were
no,
like,
no, I got
it's
it.
fine."
It's all good.
Yeah, and then I made the greatest comic of all time.
Barely. We had to give it to him at lunch. It turns out he wasn't at school that day.
Yep.
So we
So
sent
we
him
sent-
each other.
yeah,
We
we
sent
sent-
him a picture of the cookie.
And then who did we give the cookie to?
Trevor All's house.
I never even heard this. 'Cause
Trevor-
I wasn't at school that day
Get
either.
Trevor All's house. 2 years later, he would get kicked out of Monte Vista.
Ah,
What a guy.
Trevor. Zika virus.
I miss him.
Yes.
I don't know this man. Was he in like 8th grade with you guys?
No,
No,
he was
in
2
our
grades below
yeah.
us.
Oh.
And then he left in 8th grade. He came back freshman year, and then he got kicked out halfway through.
So anyway, that in time. Meanwhile, so I'm trying. So I have to write the letter, right? That we all procrastinated. That morning at school, we have to give it to him at lunch. You're like 1/4 of the way through the comic, or 1/3 or something.
Reed comes up to me during break between
Yeah,
second
yeah. No,
and
I
third.
saw Reed too, and you were just like pale in the face, walking around.
Reed said he drank bleach.
That was the day I drank.
That was the
bleach.
day you drank bleach, and so you were like you were going to the school nurses, and so I was in second period, like panicking over iMessage, like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna die? Oh
Yeah.
my god!"
And I'm just no. I remember because my throat was like getting so dry. It was advice to listeners: don't ever accidentally or purposefully drink bleach. In my case, it was an accident. We had just like bleach. Our family's water comes out of a well, so we have to frequently bleach it, or else it's like gross and bad, and don't want your water to be bad water. I don't know. You want it to be drinkable. So little did I know, our neighbors had chosen to bleach the water that day and had used way too much.
Uh-oh.
So there I am in the shower, and being the idiot that I am, I drank a bit of shower
Okay,
water.
yeah, can we talk about this? Who drinks shower water? Like, who's in their shower and just thinks, I'm thirsty. I think I'm gonna drink water. I have never done that.
Reed,
Have you done that,
honestly,
Frank?
No, I've never
Yeah.
done that. You honestly have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
what were you thinking?
What's the impetus behind drinking shower water, bleach or no bleach?
Okay, so I think it wasn't intentional drinking, because I think if I drank...
What? No. You always
What?
told the story
Yeah.
as it being like, I'm thirsty.
No. Okay,
That is
so,
what you have said.
No. I was getting water in my mouth and then spitting it out into the air, which is...
Okay,
You really like
That
putting
doesn't
it
make
through
it
your
better.
front teeth, like make it little like.
Yes, that's...
were you
it's
pretending to
not
be like a
that-
dolphin or something? Like,
No. But I was doing that, so I didn't drink like a ton of it, but I got just enough of it in my mouth that it was like bad. So then I went to school, and I'm just like slowly realizing.
So
I'm like,
later in freshman year, sorry.
it's
Later in freshman year, I told this story to Tom, and Tom said, "Oh, Reed was just sick. He didn't drink bleach." So we have conflicting stories
uh-oh.
here.
Who do we trust?
Apparently, you did not drink bleach, and you just said that to get
For
attention
dramatic-
or something.
No,
Dramatic
I wasn't even sick like after that, because normally I would have.
swear
Wait,
you
yeah,
were
he
though.
was.
No, you were sick.
You weren't at school for like a week after
Yeah.
that.
No, you
With
got
like
sick.
with like a flu or a virus or something.
Yeah, you
I
had
remember
some
that.
rad virus.
I don't remember that. Because I remember that.
I clearly remember that.
Busted.
Oh shoot! I think,
Ladies and gentlemen,
okay, we have come to the
we got
conclusion that Tom is objectively a better person than Reed.
Yes, definitely. I'm sure.
Anyway, so
I'm still pretty sure
You're
that
sick-
my parents were sure that I had bleach.
okay, so you're sick with the virus with
We
a
should
little bit
call
of
Ben
bleach
Wilson up right
right
now
there.
Yes.
and confirm this.
And
Ben Wilson, did Reed accidentally drink bleach in what was that, like 3 years ago?
yeah, that was really funny.
That was really
That was,
funny.
like, really funny.
Fuck off.
Reed, you're so funny.
Uh-oh, the podcast is getting violent. That was an adorable little slap
That
on the
was
cheek,
so
by the
sad.
way. That was so sweet.
Should I do it harder?
That was homosexual. I'm moving away.
Because you need your microphone to follow you. The microphone only stretches so far.
Okay.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
yeah, and that was pretty much the end of it. We sent him a picture of the cookie that he would have gotten. We sent him the comic book about. So here's the premise of the comic, right? So Mr. Kivas is the star of it, and like some old lady who doesn't know anything about tech calls him up, and she's like, "Mr. Kivas, I'm worried that because remember how this was right when the Samsung Galaxy
S7s.
Yeah,
they
the
were all
Samsung
blowing
Galaxy
up.
Isn't it they were
X7s.
like blowing up or something?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
blowing up. So basically, he uncovers a plot by ISIS to simultaneously detonate all of the Samsung Galaxy S7s at once.
I remember ISIS in that.
Yeah,
That was it. That project or a later one where we were talking about killing Bill Gates.
that was a
That was a different one.
That was a later one.
That's the community service
That
project.
was a community service project. I
Wait.
wrote such a good script for you guys, and you never used
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to, but Reed last minute is like, yeah,
Oh,
I want a
it's
good grade
always
on
Reed's
this.
fault, isn't it?
Miss
Okay,
Scally did
Reed,
say
confirm
no
this.
beforehand.
She didn't-
I
can't get this
I liked the idea, but Miss Scally told us beforehand, if you guys mention anything about killing Bill Gates, you will get a 0 on this.
That's not what she
Because we had
said.
been probably discussing it.
We
in
had been
class.
discussing
Oh,
it
really?
in front of her.
Okay, never mind.
Because
then.
you guys had to do a podcast, and like I was so hyped to help you with the audio editing of you guys like buying a plane ticket out to Seattle and finding Bill Gates.
Frank, I looked on my iPad, I looked on my iCloud because I had lost all the stuff on my iPad. I was trying to see what I hadn't lost. I find like 3 audio recordings, and they're the podcast with Lucas and I talking about homelessness
With no humor.
with no humor.
It was pretty bad too.
It was
Like-
it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It was called We Were Trying to Get an NA on that.
and I got 90% in Bible that year, so
There
worked
Good
you
out.
for you. Oh my God, you skated with a 90 in Bible? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
That's kind of sad, isn't it?
I rode by with an
It was my
18%
lowest grade.
until I eventually got a 90 or a 91.
Yeah, I in advanced digital video production, second semester of freshman year, I got in the quarters respectively, I got a 90 and an 89. So I barely got an A.
Yeah, my
Love that.
last year in Introduction to Engineering and Design, I got a 90 first quarter and a 90. I got a 90 every single quarter. I just realized that, which is relatively impressive now that I think about it.
Okay.
Because I had negotiated with them like how to get the least amount of work in while still getting an A minus, and it was because I realized this while I was typing in my for like applications for colleges. You know, you have to type in your transcripts.
Okay.
I'm typing it in, and I'm like looking at my quarters, and I'm like, okay, 90% A minus. Go back a couple pages. Oh, yep, 90% A minus. Go back, and then it just kept going.
Wow.
I didn't even remember getting that.
Freshman year, third quarter of health and wellness with Mr. McGinnis, I got an 83.
Oof.
Oh no.
So
Then
then
you had to get like a 97.
yeah, 97
I
or something.
ended up getting like a 99 the next quarter, and then 100 on the final. But I remember my mom was very
Yeah, I
mad at
remember
me,
you
and I was
freaking
freaking out.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Mr. McGinnis. I'm like, hey, can I do anything about this? And he's like, no. So here's the thing. Mr. McGinnis, first and second quarter, he didn't care about when you turned your work in. Honestly, as long as you got it by the end of the quarter, he would just give you 100, barely check it, and you'd be fine. So going into, and then all of a sudden, I think like admin or someone like talked to him and was like, hey, you have to actually like be a good teacher. So he started actually.
I think that's like tyranny. You shouldn't be compelled to be a good teacher
I know.
by admin.
Anyways,
Didn't he just play like Dance Dance Revolution in class? Or
that was
something?
only the first day.
Oh.
He like wanted to be seen as like really cool, and then
cool hip DDR playing.
he
teacher.
wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, I turned in like a bunch of work the last day of the quarter.
Oh no,
and then
not
he
you,
took-
Reed.
I love that blanket. Apparently, he took a different period out into the woods and told them to start a fire.
What?
You haven't heard
No,
about this?
no.
No, like seriously. He's like, okay, guys. So there's
That's
this
the one thing you
yeah,
need to learn
there's
from
one-
health
first
and
we did-
wellness.
So first of all, there were some days in health and wellness where our health part was like intense, like strength and conditioning stuff. It was
I remember that.
it was interesting. And then so apparently there was one class where after that he took them into the woods and he's like, okay guys, this is survival training. This is part because this is a part in health and wellness. You got to learn how to survive on your own in the wilderness. and then he told him to start a fire. And
did he not get fired?
get it? Fire?
Fired.
Well, apparently, Andreas stopped him when he showed him it was against the law, like online.
Pulled it up on his iPad.
Yeah,
Mr. McGinnis, I don't want to start a fire.
I don't know.
It's not a
Pretty
malicious
soon after
thing
that,
to
we
start.
heard. Pretty soon after that, he told us that he wasn't going to be teaching at Monte Vista anymore.
No, but he
so,
still
no.
worked in like the dorms.
Yeah.
He was res
Yeah.
life for a while.
and
I
now
think last year was when he.
and now he's married, and doing well, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Is
interesting.
he working on his YouTube channel? Have we checked on?
I haven't checked his YouTube
we
channel
haven't
in
checked
years.
his YouTube channel in a while.
Shoot.
Yeah, that was that. The comment section on those videos were pretty great because half
Mm-hmm.
of the comments were sarcastic and half of them you couldn't quite tell.
I know, because he said he would give you extra credit if you subscribed and you commented something.
What was
Can we
his
just say
YouTube
how
channel?
dumb that is?
Like and subscribe, and you'll get an A-, guys.
Yeah.
So let's say some good
What a
things
guy.
about Darren McGinnis though. It's just have some equilibrium.
Can we talk about how he told us his story about losing his virginity?
I want to hear this, so sure.
Fine.
So the story is he came from like a Christian family and everything. So
In church.
and apparently for like the first 2 years of his college, like he went. Am I getting this right? All right. Somehow either it was like in high school or he went to community college or something. He was like volunteering or working at like some organization that talked about like the importance of abstinence for
Yes.
high schoolers.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And
yes,
then-
I like this organization.
Of course.
I hear Josiah yelling through a wall.
And let's not talk about Josiah. And then after that, he started going to Azusa Pacific. Is that how you say it?
Azusa Pacific.
Azusa.
APU. Yeah.
Azusa Pacific, right?
Azusa. Two soft.
Two Z's.
They're both voiced. Azusa.
Azusa Pacific. Okay, so he starts going to Azusa Pacific. Something about how he's on the
I
football.
think. God, maybe one of them's an S. I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was a Sousa.
It might be Azusa.
Azusa's easier to say.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it Azusa. Okay.
That way it could be either way.
So basically, he's on the football team. Now he was telling us the story about how he was like kind of like dating this one girl, but they weren't like really a thing. And then he went to hang out with some friends, and he says one of them was this girl who lived like right next door to him in his dorm, and he said there was like some chemistry between them. Like he looked at her and like he felt some sort of spark. But he was still with this other girl, and apparently they were like talking all night. So then the person.
So can you tell me anything about this story that is like makes it unique or interesting or not? Like you're making it up on the spot as opposed to even him.
No. What? I'll get to that.
And then they went to college and they did the sex.
No, well, so basically, apparently they went back, and the person he was dating said, "Oh, I have to go to sleep." Then the person he was like, feeling it with, invited him over to watch Friends, and then,
Because they were just friends.
and then, they engaged in intercourse
While watching Friends.
while watching
This
Friends.
is
Wait.
the worst podcast
This-
so far.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna call it right now. This is the worst podcast.
I told you it would be.
Oh my. One of us is asleep and one of us is me and one of us is you.
Oh, and then he told us how like senior year, all he would do was in the morning he'd go to football practice, then he'd watch porn for. The way he said it, he made it sound like he watched porn for
At
like several
school?
hours a day or something.
God.
And then he'd like go to like the club with his friends, and then like find other females to have
He's
intercourse
such a-
with.
Females to have intercourse.
He would find females in the club. He would go to the place where the females congregate to find one to select. Okay, honestly, great. Now we've talked a lot about Darren McGinnis. He
Darren
doesn't work at
McGinnis.
the school anymore. He's not gonna
I
see
don't
this,
think he's
but,
gonna see this.
true.
Yeah.
I could DM him a link. I
What if-
still follow him on Instagram.
Is there anything positive though that you do have to say about him?
I think he's a good person. I just think he wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't in a place.
That was
Or-
right for him.
Yeah.
What is a place that's right for him, Lucas?
I don't know.
So, Lucas, do you think that Stanford is a place that's right for you?
Well, I do, but I don't think Stanford would quite agree with that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Don't
I
be
like this crush.
don't be so down on yourself, Lucas. That shows weakness. They don't like that.
They like leadership.
They like leadership. Lucas, are you a leader?
Are you a leader
Well,
amongst those around you?
Sometimes I like to think of myself as a kind of a leader.
A spiritual leader?
You say as you sway back and forth in your swivel chair.
Mm-hmm.
Behind a desk.
Do you guys think of me as a leader?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, maybe they'll think differently. So Lucas, what's your safety school?
I don't know. Probably like some of the lower tier UCs, like UC San Diego, Santa Barbara.
Rip everyone who goes to those schools.
Irvine.
They are now low tier.
They are now low tier.
Oh, sorry, mid tier.
Mid tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
mid tier. There you go.
So
I know,
yeah,
forget
what's your
about Merced
Fantano
and
rating for
Riverside.
for
What do you mean?
what's
ST.
Fantano rating for like UC San Diego?
Yeah.
or
You-
Irvine.
honestly, I haven't really researched them enough to know. But from what I can tell, for like the schools I want to go to, for the UCs, so it goes Merced, then Riverside, San Diego, Irvine or Santa Barbara. I don't know. I think Santa Barbara's a cooler place than Irvine, so we're gonna go Irvine, Santa Barbara. Oh, wait,
My
what
mom
about
went to
Davis?
Claim to
Barbara.
not have researched this, but you can accurately
Yeah, you
rank
can.
all of them according to
true.
their academic level of.
Oh well, I know that like tiers.
Legitimacy.
I'm just saying like personally what I think.
Okay.
But I mean I do know that like Irvine and Davis and Santa Barbara and San Diego are all like the same tier. They're pretty comparable. I think San Diego's the best out of that tier though, and then it goes L.A. then Berkeley. The end. This is so interesting.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
glad we're
Yes.
taking our time to talk about this.
Let's talk about colleges.
This is all Lucas's fault.
You
Yeah.
are the one who asked me
Lucas,
to
bring
rate
up
them.
college
Okay?
every
Yeah, I know.
time.
You
No,
brought this up.
no, I didn't. I said Fantano
Oh,
rate.
Fantano.
Like I just said Fantano rate, and then you finished my sentence, and you're like, "Let's go through every
Well,
single
Frank,
one."
let's talk
Oh,
about
okay.
all of the
Let's call
colleges
it
that
out.
I have ever thought about.
Um.
Did I mention
So-
my UC,
So
USD?
Reed, what's your Common App essay about?
I'm not applying to any private schools, Frank.
Oh, hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. I like that, comrade.
Yes, I only for the people, comrade.
Yes, comrade.
No friggin'
Okay.
USC
This is where I
or
awkwardly
Western
nod along because I can't do a Russian accent.
I know. First, he can't. Wait, can you whistle, Lucas?
Get wrecked, Lucas.
You know, I couldn't snap for the longest time, so I can't really say much.
Lucas, can you snap? Wow, I'm impressed.
Hmm I'm cool, guys.
Who's loud? I guess I'm the loudest. Am I the loudest
I'm the
snapper?
quietest.
What is up with this? Is the worst podcast of all time. Who's louder at snapping?
Joshua Clymer.
The Joshua Clymer is incredible at snapping.
Really?
No, Lucas, have you not seen Josh show off his snapping skills? He
can do
He
every
can
finger.
snap with this finger. With this, he can do all of them in a row. His pointer finger. He snaps better with his pointer finger than his middle finger.
What?
I am not leading you astray.
Wow. This is so interesting.
I know.
We're
Yes.
talking about
We're
snapping.
so cool. Yes.
What else can we talk about? We should Fantano rate something that's
No,
not colleges.
No. I regret saying the word
Fantano.
Fantano. That was a poor decision.
Frank,
on my
when
behalf.
did you
Okay.
first find Anthony Fantano?
8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
The love of Lucas's life.
Frank told me about him in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And
I'm actually. Reed, do you know I'm responsible for Lucas watching Anthony Fantano?
Unfortunately, I was made aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Reed. To everyone. I'm sorry.
This is a public service
Yes.
And
announcement.
ever since, I've been in love with Melon.
Okay. That
Yes.
was not quite a sentence, but
And ever since, I've been in love with Melon.
you didn't say in though. Ever since I've been in love with melon.
I've been in love with Melon.
I'm too tired to enunciate.
Okay.
Yes,
That's better. That better change for the choir show.
I know. Actually, Dr. Daniel's gonna be like, "Now, please, diction, big diction."
Yes. Well, that's a Mr. Ton phrase.
Oh, sorry, big diction.
Big
Big
diction.
diction.
Frank,
big
do you
diction.
have big diction?
When I need to. When I need to.
When I need to.
I heard it's actually incorrect to pronounce the H in WH. That it's when and not when.
Wow, what a riveting subject.
Who says when?
My dad pronounces the H's. Stop.
Okay. Definitely heard me.
Yeah. Anyhow, what's the best type of cheese?
I'm going to go with cheddar. Stilton is good, don't get me wrong. Cheddar's pretty good too, though. Lucas, what are your thoughts?
Lucas?
This question is not interesting enough for me to dignify it with a response. Next question.
Your response was not interesting enough for you to be alive.
That response was not clever enough for it to be said.
that was. Next question.
No, okay, next question.
Rapid fire interview.
Rapid fire. Oh, Reed, what's the best would you rather question?
Yes. Frank, would you rather jump off of a cliff or listen to Frank?
What?
I have to listen to myself all the time, so I'm pretty used to it by now.
Okay, that.
My brain is no longer functioning.
This really is the worst podcast.
No, this
ever.
is actually the worst.
This is actually horrible.
This is objectively
This
the
is
worst.
objectively bad. What are we gonna do to save it?
I don't know.
We have to make up for it. Podcast acapella covers.
Acapella.
I said acapella.
You said acapella.
I said acapella. I said acapella.
Like
Podcast
Ackerman.
acapella covers. All right, what song are we gonna do? This is a great idea.
Okay, let's see here.
Frank, I have a certain 3 letters beginning with an A and ending with an R.
Mike.
Directly in my head.
I don't know any AJR songs that well, though.
Neither
Luckily,
do I,
don't
but
either.
you know who does? Oh, really?
You don't. You seem to be really obsessed with the song "100 Bad Days."
I don't know.
For the
Oh.
record, Lucas is a big fan of AJR. He likes.
He is. He
AJR.
loves AJR. But who was it who he was
For
saying
those
he loved even
listening
more?
at home, Lucas is nodding in affirmation.
That is not true. I am shaking my head in disagreement.
You're not shaking your head. Your
You're
head is
shaking your
completely
chair.
Static as you talk
That is
into the
not true.
microphone.
I am shaking my head as I talk.
Like Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
Okay. What's a song that we all know to end this podcast?
Or we can end the podcast trying to think of a song to sing.
That's
No.
brilliant.
No.
awesome.
We need to see this to the end.
Okay. What's a good song, Reed?
I was gonna say the Mr. Fleming one, but I wasn't in that, so I'm
No.
not sure if I
Let's
know all
sing. Let's sing a Pink Floyd song.
Let's sing comfortably
Oh.
numb. All right, Reed, you're on lead vocals. Lucas and I are on the chords. So I'm bass, and you're like. So I'm gonna go bow.
And I'll do some, like, no- some, like,
Are we going?
bow,
Shows notes.
bow, bow. What?
it. I'm gonna watch me get the lyrics wrong. I probably will, but it's okay.
Okay.
Just fake your way
Yes.
along.
Okay, Lucas, you get to sing it with me now.
No, I'm tenor. I'm like the
Yeah.
instrumental.
Bow,
You're the
so
lead
bow,
vocals.
What?
Reed, this is your time to
bow,
shine.
I
bow.
have to pull up.
So Lucas, you're bow,
lyrics for
bow,
this.
bow. That's right. Bow,
Bow,
bow, bow, bow. No, because you don't go down with me. Because that's only the bass line.
Oh, so I just stay
Yeah,
with the straight note.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you stay there. So hold on. Bow, bow. This is our one.
No, make up your own lyrics. Don't. No,
No,
don't.
no, Lucas, let Reed look up the
Fine,
lyrics. It's
fine.
fine. Let's practice. Let's
Make up
practice
my
our
own
chords again.
lyrics.
Bow, bow,
Wait.
bow. Okay, we need to decide on what the one. You know what?
Bow.
Where are we
bow.
starting to, and what key are we doing this in?
We're doing this in the original key.
Aye.
Bow, 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 bow. That's a little low.
You can raise it up.
Okay. We're doing it in C.
Bow. 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 Bow.
Bow, bow. Bow.
Bow.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bow.
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 Bow. Bow. Bow. Bow. No. It goes to the same chord at the end.
Oh.
It loops with the same chord at the end as it is in the beginning. Bow. 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 Bow.
Bow. Bow.
Say
Sing.
hello.
Bow.
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 Bow. Bow.
Bow.
Bow.
Bow. Sing.
Bow.
Bow. All right, sorry.
Okay.
We can go to the verse. All right. Okay.
I'm getting bowed
We're doing
at.
this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bow.
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 Bow. Bow. Bow.
Bow.
Bow.
Where am I singing?
Okay,
Here's
so-
how you start. Read, listen. Okay.
Alright.
Lucas, you sing on.
Alright.
Sorry.
Bow, 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 bow.
I need
Alright.
Lucas to be
Okay.
here.
Bow, 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 bow.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Right? Except I think it's.
Sing. Oh wait. Bow.
Lucas, you sing too, so I know where. Yes.
I'm not singing two. No, we
Why
need
are
two
you
voices
two-
for instrumental. Do you want to sing tenor? Do you want me to sing?
No. Reed has to sing lead vocals. That's a
Okay.
part of it. Lucas,
Okay.
sing the lyrics for Reed so that he knows how it goes. Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. There you go. Oh,
Is there anyone at home?
Bow, bow.
Come on.
bow,
I hear you.
bow,
Where
bow,
is your
bow,
pain?
bow,
Did you
bow,
Relax.
bow.
No, Lucas, you
bow.
messed
Oh,
up.
sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Okay,
We're doing better. We
Reed,
did better that time.
Reed, you
Okay.
need to have the mic closer to your
Okay,
face.
I'll have the mic closer to my face so that I'm
Lucas,
in
we
the
need to back
yellow.
off a little bit because we're too loud.
Okay.
Bow.
Okay,
Bow.
Lucas, sing the first
One.
line with me.
Bow.
Fine,
Okay.
okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, is there anybody in there?
Just nod if you can hear me.
Bow.
Is there
Bow.
anyone at home? Come on now.
No, Lucas.
What? Oh shoot!
Keep on screwing up the loop.
Okay.
Okay.
You do this
Try
twice.
again.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Okay. Bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bow. 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 Bow.
Is there anybody?
Bow.
Just nod if you can hear me.
Bow. Bow. Bow.
Is there
Bow.
anyone at home? Come on
Bow.
now.
You're flat. Bow.
I hear you.
Bow.
I'm so well,
Bow.
I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax. I just need some information.
Sorry. Bow.
Just the basic facts.
Bow.
Can you show
Bow.
me where it hurts?
Bow.
There's no.
Yeah, but no, I don't. We can't sing the. I mean, I don't know the chords of the chorus.
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Why did we choose
Do we- do we
Comfortably
also-
Numb? That's not a good song to acapella, Frank.
Okay, what do you want a
What,
cappella?
yeah. What do we? What
Do you want to do a Pentatonix Christmas cover?
Oh.
Dum-da. Dum-dum-da.
No, that was a joke. I don't actually want to. Please no. Okay,
Um,
what's something else we can
Come
acapella?
on, you face. Kidding.
Acapella.
sure.
Acapella.
Shoot. What's a good song to Best podcast of all time.
Yes.
Right here.
I'm
Acapella.
scratching on a wall.
Thank you.
What can we acapella?
Do you feel the world is broken?
We do. Okay.
Oh god. Do you feel?
I feel like we should know something.
I feel like we should, but do we? We've gone on for 6 minutes trying to think about songs.
That's true.
But
We're not done yet.
We are going to think of something. What
I
would
mean,
Dr. Dana? Dr.
when
Dana
in
want
doubt,
us to
there's
do?
Happy Birthday.
No, we're not doing
that's
Happy
dumb.
Birthday.
That's
We could write counterpoint like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something. That'd be pretty
on.
dope.
Yeah.
It would take too long though.
Yes, it is. Got it.
Twinkle, so I'll be lead. Twinkle.
No, I don't actually want to. No,
Twinkle.
this is no. It has to be a beautiful song.
Okay.
Comfortably
Twinkle,
Numb is a beautiful song.
Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars.
Lucas, I remember when I was listening to Pink Floyd in your car, and you told me that you had never listened to The Wall. You'd heard like bits and pieces, but you'd
Yeah.
never listened to the whole thing.
I've not.
Well,
I
when-
haven't been a fan of Pink Floyd for a long time.
Lucas,
I've only gone into
what
them this
year
year.
was this, Lucas? Oh,
2019.
2019.
Yeah. Unlike you, I wasn't raised around like music like that.
You were
I had to
raised
find it
on,
myself.
like radio music.
I was raised on K-Love.
I don't know what that
It explains
is.
a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does.
We should cover the 59th Street Bridge song by Simon and Garfunkel.
Wait, I'm actually down. Okay.
Slow down. You
Alright,
move
I'm-
too fast.
Okay.
Got
I'm
to
singing
make
lead.
the
Our main
moment
last
last.
just kicking down the cobblestones.
Cobblestone.
Looking for
Looking
fun and feeling
groovy.
Oh god.
Okay.
Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. Feeling groovy. I did it like an octave up, and back then that was my chest voice. It's
Cool.
weird.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Frank, have
Yeah,
you seen
good
the
story.
video of like very little Lucas singing in like a church? Not in a church, but for like a religious thing.
Yeah, I've seen all the videos.
I see. I just looked up Lucas Brockenbrough and I saw it, and I
Brockenbrough.
watched. Yeah, I watched
Broken bro.
Broken Bro.
Do you know that?
Brockenbrough.
Did you know I've
Brocken-
actually been pronouncing my last name wrong
Yeah, all the
my
things
entire
that
high
Lucas
school career?
mispronounces, including his last name.
My last
And
name
he
is
wants
not
to
Broken
change it
Bro.
for college.
It's Broken Burrow.
I see. I said Broken Bro.
You said
You
Brockenbrough.
said Brocken Bro.
Brockenbrough. It was like half right.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's a good a cappella song to cover.
What's something iconic and beautiful? Imagine Mr. Fleming.
It's easy if you try. No Creighton among us. Why do I know the song better than you? If
If
I
you
had him, I would die. I apologize for the poor quality of the lyrics. Lucas wrote them. Imagine all the people living for Fleming.
No, it's Chuck Fleming.
For Chuck Fleming?
Shoot, I can't do that.
No, it's for Fleming, not Chuck Fleming.
I think it's
Then the lyrics don't make sense. Living Chuck Fleming. That makes no sense.
Living Chuck
for
Fleming.
living for Chuck
No,
Fleming.
listen to the song. It says "Living for Fleming."
Yeah, that would be just Fleming, not Chuck.
What am I doing with my life? I'm like coming to this realization right now. I'm sitting here on my podcast with two exhausted, tired people playing the melodica, not even into the microphone, so the microphone can't even hear it, of a song by a communist guy who died.
He was communist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the lyrics of the song Imagine?
I have them right here.
Yeah, read it. It's pretty communist.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy. If
I think
you
this
try.
podcast teaches a really good lesson.
No hell below
Some
us.
people just aren't funny.
Above us, only sky.
Yeah.
People just aren't funny.
Lucas.
The funniest part of this podcast
Parrot.
was inspired by a different person, the illustrious Darren McGinnis.
Oh my.
This is sad.
Yeah.
This is sad.
What are strategies to make me more funny?
Let's do something difficult.
Okay.
Let's build a diminished chord.
Okay.
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 No,
No,
God
Reed.
damn it.
You did the 5. You've got to do
I'm
the
aware.
flat 5. This is your.
It
No.
goes.
If you haven't tuned out already, do so now. We are singing diminished chord, diminished triads.
Guys, let's do the thing where you sing the tritone up the scale.
Okay, the problem is you can't stack tritones like that. Let's try to do that, but stacking fourths.
Okay.
This is my note. This is your. That's
Aw.
your
Wait,
note.
why am I doing the highest one?
Because you're Reed.
What?
And that's your note. It's not too high.
Okay.
Do, re.
Oh, no, do,
oh,
D.
sorry. Yeah, do, D.
Chromatics.
Do.
Yes.
Am I singing that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
Do.
Do.
No. Wait.
Do.
No, we're singing the same note. What
Do
happened?
is my note. I'm right here.
Do.
Mhm.
Do.
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 That was my note.
D.
we have to end this podcast.
Yes, we
this
have
is
to
a
end this
disaster.
podcast.